Blondie's gigglinator is broken again. She keeps
Massive.
trying to film up my nostrils.
This video thing is a lot harder than it looks. I'm really impressed how much work you put into it. Anyway, mashed potatoes in the morning. There's coffee, there's peanut butter tortillas. And I'm really excited because today we have a waterfall and multiple lakes.
My version of this would be there is an insufficient amount of coffee. Instead of real breakfast, I get, tortillas and peanut butter, and she's really stinky. Okay, so we have a bear right by camp now. Oh, there we go. Okay, and in case you think that I was just like mean, grumbling at other people with their bad bear hangs, we just had a bear just about walk into camp. Yeah.
This morning just got even better. It was a little bear too.
It was a moderate-sized bear. Okay, lots of excitement. So yes, the mosquitoes are pretty bad, and yes, the permethrin has totally worn off on my clothing layers, but on the plus side, at least they're not that bloodthirsty. Sometimes you get them where every one of them is going like straight for you. These are lazy mosquitoes. One might say these are the slack packers of the mosquito world.
So here's the water coming out of our water source this morning. The reason it's kind of brownish colored is because of chemicals called tannins. Those come out of the wood. The filter will knock them down a little bit, but not get them completely out. They're totally harmless. You can't even taste them, but the look does throw you a little bit if you're not used to it.
Very high chance of rain today, but at least for the moment, really nice hiking weather. So far, so good. The AT, because why go around a boulder when you can go straight over the top? Yay! Oh. So here you see taters on the Appalachian Trail, having just climbed up that rock. And of course, the trail goes right over the top. There is actually a blue blaze right down there. But still, the Appalachian Trail goes right over the top. I have a great idea. Let's go hike the trail. It's not like I have, bad knees or anything. Oh. Have I said the AT is bullshit today?
Hasn't someone told you you can't say that after you walk 3,300 miles?
No, they haven't. Or if they did, I said, you haven't walked 3,300 miles. I'm not listening to you. And waterfall. Oh wow, even Tater's getting jaded on waterfalls now. Okay, so we're just sitting here at a waterfall, reveling in the feeling of victory because there was somebody who was like spamming literally every waypoint on gut hooks with his transport service thing, and Tater's got him banned. Scumbag, taken out. I don't know what happened, guys. She used to be so nice and always be impressed with waterfalls. Now she's like scumbags left and right in this waterfall. She was like, meh. So I guess I'm just going to turn into the super positive one. Hey guys, how's it going? Best day ever. Oh my God, look, the trees. Oh, I love it. Oh, look, a puppy.
So a fungus would not normally make my cool things video cut, but this is pretty darn cool. There's lots of cool fungi out here. At least I'm assuming it's a fungus.
It's a fungus among us. Unlike Miss Anti-Fungi Taters back there, I just think this is cool. Damn it, why didn't anybody tell me I was on the agony grind? I would have complained way more. What? Okay, I believe we are descending into the squeezy lemon hole. Lemon squeezer? Something like that. Okay, the amount of things people get excited for out here is... And here we have Taters getting her lemon squeezed. Oh, and it's wet. Oh, free hat.
I'm carrying the bigger pack.
No, you're just a littler person. But once again, I have to say I'm left with the question of why? And I'm a guy that does slot canyons voluntarily, but it could have just like walked around the other side.
This was exciting. Variety. You're always saying you want more variety on the trail.
And somebody was like, ooh, squeezy lemon hole. You see that once again, it's not like there's not a trail going around it, but they blaze that. Because again, this trail is like a middle finger in trail form.
They're just adding more fun for us.
There's your fun right up there. Woo! Okay, ever since Tater's banished Uber Rich off gut hooks today, she's been getting really aggressive. But once again, you see that climb we got to do right there? There's literally a trail right there. We're not doing it because that's not the red line, but yeah. Now tell me you need a slack pack. Okay, we have journeyed through the squeezy lemon hole. We have climbed up the rock face of pointlessness. The trail is right over there. And now we are continuing down the trail. Oh man, just 800 miles to Katahdin. Then 700 miles till I stop. So a long, long way. And Blondie's getting attacked by mosquitoes. Run, Blondie! Okay, as usual, we pushed on to the next water source where there's supposed to be a campsite, and we found another group. There are just through hikers all over the place here. Went by, I don't know how many tents, because somebody had a dog and it was growling at us, so I'm pretty sure we woke all them up. But we found something that'll work, fortunately, because otherwise we didn't know how far we were going to go. Home sweet home for the night. Camp Massatators in the morning. It started raining sometime around 1 in the morning, so we had to scramble to adjust the tent just a bit. It is still really, really humid. I am giving up on my long sleeve because it is just sopping wet. I may actually try and get another hiking shirt, like get something that doesn't have sleeves. I really like the sun protection, but there's not that much sun out here and it's just impossible to get the cloth to dry. So New York section, as near as I can tell up ahead, there's going to be a lot more of these steep rocky climbs. That seems to be what this section is known for. It's also known for delis, so people can blaze from like deli to deli and get fresh food. Unfortunately, we're off cycle yet again. So we're gonna rush to get to the Appalachian Market tonight so we can resupply. But like the pizzeria on top of a mountain the next day, we're probably gonna get there too late because it's gonna be another 20 some miles. Ah, well. Also, we seem to have hit another really big bubble of actual through hikers. We ran into a group of maybe 8 or 10 yesterday, and then they camped back near that pond, and then right at dark we ran into another, and there's been some onesie twosies out here too. So yeah, just when you think maybe they would have cleared out, we're gonna try and get past them if we can, but we'll see. We need to take a zero at some point because I'm getting kind of beat up here. And the unfortunate thing is any progress we make getting a day or two ahead of them, then we get set back. It's like being on the interstate where you ever really needed to pee and you're like, ooh, there's a gas station, but I just passed that big semi, and if I go pee, then I'll come back and I'll be behind it. Yeah. So you end up holding it all the way from like Sacramento down to Los Angeles. Camp Massatators in the morning. What's that look for? You see this? I just come up and I'm like, hey, honey, how are you? And I get looks like that every morning. This is why I'm so sour and like grouchy. It's exhausting. So yesterday, earlier in the morning, I wiped out and my shin hit a rock. Didn't bleed all that much, but it seems to have really kind of like whacked the muscle there. So I'm having trouble bending my foot enough to even crouch on a cat hole or anything like that. So I'm hoping it's going to warm up and we'll just be able to do our normal thing. There is a possibility that we may decide to go into Fort Montgomery and get a hotel just so I can ice it, you know, if it seems like it's getting worse. Also, when you're talking difficulty of the AT, I think that at least partially refers to how difficult it is to dig like an L&T cat hole out here. With all the rocks and roots, you wouldn't believe how much work I'm having to do to, you know, find a spot and then dig down enough. You pretty much have to find a rock that you can just like pry up in order to make the hole underneath it. And you can say, oh, well, you should be staying at the shelters because they have privies. We use those whenever we can, but like through here, no privies at the shelters again. There was like a 40 or 60 mile period back around Tennessee. Same thing. It is foggy and so humid that you feel like you shouldn't have to drink water. You should just absorb it from breathing. But hey, on the plus side, forecast had it storming pretty good today. So far, so good. Okay, I just got way happier because it turns out today there is some like zoo that the trail goes straight through. And we get to go through that. So we can see bears and things. More bears, you know, not the wild bear we saw yesterday. Hey look, if you missed your hostel racks out here in the woods, you can get hostel racks out here in the woods. So with all the tumbles and things from the last couple of days, I can hardly lift my left foot. My forward shin is badly beat up, and my left arm I can't raise above about shoulder height. You might think, oh, that's rough. Huh. You might wonder where the AT went. But it always seems like I'm walking wounded with something, you know. Hell, I've done like big climbs where I was in really rough shape. Once I climbed from Badwater, basically Scotty's Well in Death Valley, 11,000 feet up to Telescope. Well, I was so sick, I should have been in bed with the flu. Ooh, I also did a bike century with bronchitis once. Turned into walking pneumonia. Doctor and I had this really intense conversation after that, because when I came in with just the bronchitis, he said I was okay doing a bike ride that weekend as long as I felt okay. He didn't specify don't do a bike century, so I went and did the planned bike century. Came back in horrible shape. So now I always have a conversation, like when I had my knee surgery, and the guy's like, okay, well, you can be on an exercise bike. It's like, okay, how long and how hard am I allowed to go? I've always said I'm not the best at moderation, you know? Okay, I believe that would be the Hudson. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the visibility today to see New York. I was kind of hoping to see the skyline. Hey there, buddy.
All right, here we go again. Starting to think Mackaye may be right. Yes, that's the AT on the left there, and there is the blue blaze around it.
So interestingly enough, last night in the tent, I was looking at the mesh on the head of our Big Agnes, and that thing was brand new at the start of this trip when Taters joined me. It's got a bunch of little holes in it. I really think some sort of moth or bug out here is actually eating the tent mesh, because it's not like that would have ended up on the ground or dragged or anything. So if anybody knows what eats tents out here, please let me know and how to get rid of it. So that tower over there is on Bear Mountain. That's where we're headed next. Check that guy out. Apologies for the smudginess, but you have no idea how hard it is to keep the lenses clean when there's this much sweat, humidity, etc. around. Okay, Bear Mountain Tower time. Okay, well that was a bummer. That was locked, so no going up the tower. Onwards to the zoo. Ah, the sense of civilization. Anyway, since the tower wasn't open, don't have to rush through that. It is 2:11, which means I have an hour and change to make it down to the zoo and be able to walk through there instead of having to blue blaze around the zoo. And what fun is that? So you would think they couldn't close a ice cream vending machine so I'd be able to get ice cream. But no, it was offline. It looks like we made it in time for the zoo. Why do I feel like hikers were involved in that somehow? That is indeed quite the pool. Okay, and the trail goes through a zoo. I've been super excited for this. And Blondie's just been shaking her head and giggling the entire time. Do not feed or annoy. Okay, so we're officially at the lowest spot of the AT. The Bear Dad. I feel like he feels as warm as I do. I feel you there, Bear Bro. Look. Okay, we've seen the bears, we visited the historical museum and found out that we smell really, really bad. So the problem is once we're in an enclosed building, we can smell ourselves. Good thing there was nobody else in said historical museum. So literally this section has been the trail. Now we pop out here and we're gonna cross the Hudson Bridge, I believe. Okay, Taters has been dragging all day, but now she's excited because we get to walk over the bridge. Not ride over or anything like that. There was no ice cream. But hey, we don't have to pay a toll. For some reason, we had to cross the road and make sure and go on this side of the bridge. That sidewalk, not the AT. Northern side sidewalk, that's the AT. Okay, Taters, did you have fun?
Yes, I like that bridge a lot.
Okay, so my mistrust of this trail is such that when I see something like that blaze over there, I'm not 100% sure that they don't say you're supposed to go straight up it, because you know what we've seen the last couple of days. Okay, back on trail and is straight bloody up. But found out, got a Sierra Club hiking friend who's in the area, so we might get some treats delivered. Okay, I was kind of wishing for a trail burrito, but not lying on the ground covered in ants. What the hell? Good to have friends. Sierra Club hiking friend Stephanie came out and brought us veggies and wine, so we're good to go. Now we have to hike a couple of more miles because we need to get to a resupply and then find a camp, and we're hearing thunder, so we're gonna get nailed again. Why? And there's mosquitoes, and it's super humid. My headphones broke. Okay, yet another one of those change of plans. Basically, saw our friend, got some wine from our friend, got some veggies from our friend. We now have a severe thunderstorm heading for us. So looking at the options, we can either hike until dark, going through some 3 miles or so, resupply in the dark, and hopefully find a campsite. Or we can go in the morning and get coffee and a big burrito. I haven't had a breakfast burrito in forever. So that's the plan we're going with. And there's nothing like backtracking to the campsite that was open 30 minutes ago, only to find that there's a bunch of people there. So now we're re-backtracking back to the previous site that we had gone over because we're like, yeah. And now we play everybody's favorite game called Can We Get the Tent Up Before All Hell Breaks Loose? It's a fun game. Ha! Home sweet home for the night, and it's only just starting to rain, and we have the tent up. Ha! Is that all you've got? Woo! Wine, firefly, and way too much heat.